Hey guys, it's Jenna or BlueEyedBibliophile, and welcome back to my channel where we fangirl constantly. To everybody who celebrates it, I hope you had a very Merry Christmas. Today I'm going to be talking about my favorite books of 2016. As some of you may know, I have been rereading the Harry Potter series, but I refuse to put that on this list even though those are some of my favorite books ever because it's just too obvious. There are a total of 5 books on this list, some of which are part of a series and some of which are just standalones. If it turns out that I love the entire series, then I just picked one from the series that was my absolute favorite. At the bottom of my favorites list, I have a book that may surprise you. I had to read it for school, and that is Lord of the Flies by William Golding. I feel like especially if you go to my school, you're probably thinking, what the heck, Jenna, that book was awful. Specifically because we had to read it for school. And honestly, I hate that I love this book. I mean, it's a terrible, frighteningly scary concept, but I can't help myself. I loved it. In case you don't know, this book follows a group of British boys who are trying to escape the war-torn area that they live in during World War II, but their escape plane crashes and they become stranded on an abandoned island. Try saying that 3 times fast. Stranded on an abandoned island. Stranded on an abandoned island. Stranded on an abandoned island. It's kind of hard to say. The boy's life on the island becomes a microcosm. I hope that's the word. It becomes a microcosm of what's happening in the real world, the war and such. The boys, who are so much younger than the adults who are struggling in the real world, recreate the same struggles on the island between themselves, and it's extremely interesting and gripping. The next book on my favorites list is Everything Everything by Nicola. I believe that's how you say it. I really hope. I know I've messed it up before. Everything Everything by Nicola Yoon. I, a long time ago, made a video for this book just giving a summary and stuff. So if you're interested, I definitely think you should go check that out. But fair warning, it's old and very cringeworthy. As much as I love the romance aspects of many dystopian books, I don't usually reach for a romance book in itself. In this book, we follow Madeline, who has this disease that makes her allergic to the world, and it's awful, and you see her life when she can't go outside and she has to spend her whole life trapped indoors. While that was never much of a problem for her, something changes in her life and she looks out the window and there are these new neighbors moving in and she falls in love. Even though this isn't what I would normally go pick up, it is a wonderful book. I loved it so much. The next book on my list is a recent read of mine, and that is The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. Please, 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 no spoilers for this book. I'm just now currently reading the second book, and it is so amazing so far. I really love this book. I thought it was so extremely unique. I never read anything like it before. I would give you a brief summary on this book, but I have no clue how to explain it. I'm not even sure I know what happened in this book. It was just so crazy, this and that, and everything was happening, and I don't even know. I do know that this book involves magic and romance and Welsh mythology. Welsh mythology. That's hard to say too. But it is so intriguing. I loved it, and I cannot wait to continue with the rest of the series. I hope I like it as much as I like this one. The next book on my list is Cress by Marissa Meyer. This was by far my favorite book in the Lunar Chronicles series because Cress and Thorn were my 2 favorite characters and we got to see the most of them in this book. I can't give away too much about this book because it is not the first book in the series, it is the 3rd. So really you got to read the first and second books, obviously, before you get to this one, and it will not disappoint. It's so good. I think the whole series is awesome, except my least favorite had to be Scarlet. I wasn't a huge fan of her character, but I did enjoy this one. I loved it even more than the last one, which is Winter, which I just read. If you haven't read this series yet, I would definitely say it's a must-read. It was so intriguing, and it made you think, and it was just really awesome. It was a great story. And needless to say, this is a retelling of the fairy tales, the original fairy tales. So obviously this one is Rapunzel, but the other ones are Cinder for Cinderella, Scarlet for Little Red Riding Hood, and Winter for Snow White. These books are really, really well told. It's just really awesome. I can't really describe it. You have to go read it. Alright guys, I have saved the best for last. That's right, you guessed it. The Darkest Minds by Alexander Bracken. This is one of the first books I read this year, but I have not forgotten it. It has been by far my favorite book that I've read in 2016. In fact, my friend Christy and I literally just made a review for this book. It was the last video I made, so you should definitely go check that out. We talked all about it, we spoiled some stuff, you know, it's what fangirls do, right? Of course, with this book, I love the entire series so much, but I decided I wanted to pick one, and obviously the first book, the one that brought us into this whole world that takes place in the future, was definitely my favorite of the three. In this series, we follow this girl named Ruby, and she lives during a time when a disease is sweeping the nation. The majority of the children will die, but the ones who are left come back with awesome, cool powers, and it's just so amazing. The government puts the children into concentration camps or rehabilitation camps, whatever you want to call them, and Ruby manages to escape, which never happens, and she is on a journey to find the Slip Kid. Supposedly, the Slip Kid has a way to reconnect children with their parents once they either escape from the concentration camps or if they just find him before they're captured. Ruby joins her new friends Liam, Chubbs, and Zoo, and together they trek across the nation to find the Slip Kid. This book is a fantastic adventure. I enjoyed it so much. A lot of people say it's overhyped, but I don't think so. I think it is wonderful. And that is all for my favorite books of 2016. I had a really great reading year, I think. There were some wonderful books that I read this year. And I'm currently on my 37th book. I think there's enough time in the year to finish it, I hope. I'm a slow reader, so I don't know. And I'm so excited for what next year brings. If you'd like to see a video of my least favorite books of 2016, please comment down below, and I really kind of want to make that. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, if you want to see more videos like this one. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. Bye!